So sorry, Cuomo. Sorry, Fredo. See you later. And I have to say about Fredo, a lot of people have been exposed, and it's really nice to see Andrew Cuomo finally get the coverage he deserves. But it's also nice to see Fredo squirm a little bit, because that guy, out of all of the anchors, he is truly sanctimonious. He gets up every night for those monologues, and he lectures people on Catholicism, on virtue, on mask wearing, on Orange Man bad. He is so smug. And the fact that now he doesn't want to cover his big brother, the one time in his life he's not going to talk about his big bro, it's pretty rich. And it doesn't matter, though, because even though Fredo doesn't want to talk about Andrew Cuomo, you know who does want to talk about Andrew Cuomo? Bill de Blasio. And Bill kind of cracks me up. I have to give credit to Howie Carr on this. I was describing Bill de Blasio. He's the mayor of New York City. He is really one of the most disliked people in the world, in the country at least. And I'm not saying he's evil or anything, but he's got this real quality where both sides of the aisle can kind of bond over how much they don't like him. He is incompetent. He appears to be a bit lazy based off his scheduling and his penchant for naps. And not that it matters, but, you know, I think he enjoys some recreational fun. Jared, do you know what I'm getting at? I think he's a pot smoker.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I should confirm that first, but I'm pretty sure we've talked about that before. But then meanwhile, New York City is in complete disarray. So Howie described Bill de Blasio as the kind of guy who waits until someone stands up to the bully in the schoolyard and, like, you know, punches the bully in the face. And Bill de Blasio is the kid who comes in after when the bully's on the ground and kicks him, like gets in his shot. He's not brave enough to take on the bully originally, but he'll come in at the end and give him a swift kick to the head while he's on the ground. And that is so true. You can see it with Andrew Cuomo. Ron Kim, the New York Assemblyman, and Janice Dean have serious guts. They were told time and again to shut up and sit down, and they were bullied and they were harassed, and they didn't care because it was personal for them and because, you know, they actually have some gumption. Bill de Blasio does not. But now that the train is moving and he wants to hop on it, and he's finally seeing that there's someone people dislike more than him, he is all aboard. Choo-choo, let's go. And he's going on radio shows. You would think he was dropping an album soon. That's how excited he is about this Cuomo news. I have not ever seen him this passionate about something. If only he could be this passionate about, you know, the garbage on the streets of New York City or the crime rate. He's really into this Cuomo story. So he's on Hot 97. It's a radio show. And this is what he has to say about Andrew Cuomo. Cut 14.
When have you specifically been in a room where you've heard him talk down to people?
Oh, many, many times. And he specifically, for example, the notion of, you know, threatening people, saying you should fire people.
Okay, cut 15.
You know, people may have to make tough decisions or do important work are going to be hard charging. That fully understood. Or raise their voice. Okay, this is different. This is a style of threatening, bullying that is persistent, that is, you know, I've seen it many, many times, like literally just threatening people's jobs, telling you should fire other people. I mean, it's strange to me. But what you heard with Ron Kim, this is why I said instantly I believe him.
And lastly, Bill de Blasio cut 16.
When Ron Kim says that Cuomo was angry at him, so he says, I will destroy you, I will destroy your career. Who does that? Who does that? It's one thing to say, I disagree with you and I'm going to air I'm going to air it publicly. He didn't say that. He said, I'll destroy your career, I'll destroy your family. I mean, who does that? But that is something thoroughly believable to me coming from Cuomo.
I'm surprised that at the end of that, Bill de Blasio didn't try to transition into, who does that? I mean, we need a governor you can trust. We need a governor like me, Bill de Blasio. Because that's what people are saying. They're saying he's angling to be governor. First of all, if I was in New York, my number one goal would be to get out of New York. But if I was going to stay there, and I'm guessing the reason people do is because they have jobs where they have to stay there. Good paying jobs, hopefully, where they have to stay there. I would say we need someone so not either of these people. We need to get out of the Cuomo family, totally. And we need to get out of the de Blasio family, totally. I wonder if this is going to affect, the bridge they were going to change Tappan Zee to Cuomo. I think they did change it to Cuomo, and Howie was never happy with that. I wonder if there's a chance they'll change it back.
I think you have to in this situation.
But it wasn't named after Andrew. It was named after the father. So I don't know if the father can be punished. The late father can be punished for the sins of the son. See, these are all interesting questions. Brought to you by Andrew Cuomo. Al, you're next with Grace on the Grace Curley Show. Go ahead, Al.
For 15 years, and the Cuomo corruption stories are famous, but two of my favorites are, back in 2014, there was widespread corruption. All the politicians are getting arrested. The head of the assembly and the head of the representatives are in jail. So Cuomo starts a corruption commission, and they start investigating all these different companies for money laundering, and they start issuing subpoenas. And guess whose name starts showing up when they're doing the investigation? Andrew Cuomo. So he finds out they're investigating him, so he cancels the corruption commission.
Oh, God. It's all so predictable. What's the other one now?
The other one is, so they decided to pass a corruption law. And they said, because there's so many people getting arrested, they said, if you get arrested for committing a crime while you're in office, you lose your state pension, which was huge. So they passed the bill in the Senate and the House. Cuomo won't sign it unless they change it so that it's not retroactive, meaning it's only applying to politicians that are elected after that. If you're already in office and you get arrested for committing a crime, it doesn't apply to you.
Wow, Al. You know what? It's almost like he's looking out for himself, dare I say. Al, thank you so much for the call. I like those two stories. Very good, very good. And if anyone else wants to call in about this, 844-500-4242. I do want to do a little bit more of the woke news that is taking over the world this week when we get back. First, though, guys, my friends at Eden Pure know that winter is not over. I wish winter was over. I woke up this morning and I asked my phone what the temperature was. And at the time I woke up, it was 6 degrees. And now I believe it is 13 degrees. And it feels like it's negative 1,000 degrees. Not to mention the fact that it's windy. So everyone is freezing. Jared, you said last night you had to throw an extra blanket on.
It was frigid.
Yes, and that's why for one day only, they are having a huge sale on their Gen 40 heater. That's right. Today only, it is buy one, get one free. This is an incredible savings. Gas and oil prices have already skyrocketed. That is so true. Jared and I both have oil heat, and it's brutal because every time you got to fill it up, the price just keeps going higher and higher. Robert from the Cape says the Gen 40 heater performs like no other heater I've ever used. I agree with Robert. It is remarkable. The Eden Pure Gen 40 makes you feel warmer than your furnace, and it also costs less to run. You may be working from home now and have noticed the increase in heating bills. The Eden Pure Gen 40 will pay for itself in a matter of weeks, but with this deal, more like days. Go to EdenPure.com and put in code word GraceBogo. This is a huge deal. I don't remember if Gen 40 heater has ever done a BOGO, but this sounds like the best deal we've run so far. That is a one-day only sale, so act today, EdenPure.com. Don't forget code word GraceBogo. And I do have to say, this time of year is the perfect time of year to get one of these, because what happens is it will be warmer one day and you'll shut all your heat off, and then it will get cold the next day, and you're costing yourself more. But if you just have a small heater on standby, it can really get you through kind of the ups and downs of this weird time of year here in New England. So make sure you go to EdenPure.com and don't forget code word GraceBogo. That's buy one, get one. We'll be back on the other side with more of your calls, 844-500-4242. What do you think of Andrew Cuomo? Is this the end? We did the poll question yesterday was, will he resign? And I think that everyone said no, but I think I might be right here. We'll be back on the other side. This is the Grace Curley Show.
Follow Grace on Twitter at @G_Curley.